YouTube.com/nothing but Knicks. And I'm talking over the live stream right now because I'm talking to you guys on Instagram. But we about to get this started. Knicks family, I know you hear me talking. I'm talking to two different screens at one time. But we're going to go ahead and get this started. Knicks dropped one to the Wiz. A game that I thought we should have won. But we're going to get this rocking. So let's go. Knicks family, what's popping? What's going on? And I'm actually live on Instagram right now too. I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on Instagram. My friends on Instagram right now, they're not really able to hear. They can hear me, but they're not able to hear any, people who call in or people who's in the chat. So forgive me, my Instagram friends. We'll fix that. If I continue to do this and you guys are going to watch on Instagram, we'll fix that. And we'll get it right so that you can hear it all. But as it is right now, I'm on YouTube and we're going to talk about this loss because I wasn't happy. I was there. I was at the game. I'm sure some of you guys seen me at the game because I was streaming live from the game. And there wasn't much energy in the building from the beginning. I don't know. There just wasn't a lot of energy. There was half the stadium was filled. White t-shirts everywhere that nobody really wanted because they were kind of corny. I took it anyway. But there wasn't a lot of energy in the building. A lot of Knicks fans there. I would say 50% of the fans were Knicks fans. But then it was almost like a preseason game until we got into that third quarter. The action picked up a little bit in the third quarter. At that point, we got some energy in the building, but it was kind of dead. Washington Wizards fans, you guys got to do something, man. If you're gonna have a team, go out, support your team, get out there. Whether or not they're 1-7 or whatever they are, get out there and support your team. But tonight, it wasn't a good game. It wasn't a good game from the Knicks. I didn't like what I seen tonight. We had a couple of moments here and there, but for the most part, we just didn't play a good basketball game. And, I was thoroughly disappointed with tonight's game. Ralph Petito, you said a free shirt is a good shirt. Yeah, I'm with you. It wasn't exactly free. Even though it was sitting on my chair when I got there, it wasn't exactly free. Still had to pay for my ticket just to get it. But anyway, let's recap the game, ladies and gentlemen, because there's a lot of things to talk about with this game. One thing is this. Tim Hardaway said it. We can't keep blaming it on the youth, but the youth plays a big part in what we've seen tonight. Plays a huge part in what we've seen tonight and just the way that we played. We actually won the rebound battle 36-32. And I'll bring this on over so you guys can see, those who are not on Instagram and on YouTube can actually see what I'm talking about. And those who are Instagram, if you want to check out the full thing, join us on YouTube, youtube.com/nothing but Knicks. Right. The Knicks never had a lead in this game. They were down. The Washington Wizards led by 15. That was their biggest lead. All right. The Knicks, we won the rebound and battle 36-32. We only had 19 assists, right at our season's average. Well, just about. Maybe our season's average is a little bit more than that because against Dallas, we had a good number of assists. But tonight, only 19 assists. 5 steals, 5 blocks, 18 turnovers, above our season's average. We usually average 14 turnovers. We had 18 tonight. That's a big story of the game, in my opinion. Another big story of this game, we went to the line only 16 times. We were 12 of 16. By comparison, the Washington Wizards went to the line 39 times, making 30 free throws. That's 18 points They had 18 points more than us from the free throw line. From the free throw lines. And I know there's going to be a lot of people very quick to blame the referees. I'm not going to blame the referees. I was there, and I was close. I had good seats. And what they called fouls were fouls. I mean, you know, there were some here and there that maybe weren't fouls, but I think what they called fouls were fouls. And the bottom line is the Knicks were not going to the basket, especially in that first half. They just weren't aggressive enough getting to the cup. They stayed on the perimeter all night long. All night long, we stayed on the perimeter. You know, we shot 27 threes, but we also shot a lot of mid-range shots. And there's another issue that prevented us from getting to the basket as well. You know, especially in that first half. We'll talk about that in a bit. The Knicks shot 41.9% from the field. That's another issue. Another issue. I keep harping on it. We are an inefficient shooting team. And if we shoot inefficiently, then we shoot 41.9% from the field. You should not expect to win. You know what I mean? Should not expect to win. And we shot 41.9% from the field. 18.5% from three. Those kind of numbers will net you a loss every time you step on the floor. I can guarantee it. They will net you a loss anytime you step on the floor. All right, we've got to do something about this shooting percentage. If we want to be in games and not lose games down the stretch, end up losing games by, you know what we lose by tonight, 15, 13 points, when we were tied to almost midway through the fourth quarter. The game was 84-84. Frank Ntilikina penetrates, finds Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson gets blocked by Bradley Beal. And from there, we're not able to recover. You know, we got to do something about this field goal percentage. I don't know if it's just because we're young. You know, we're playing with a lot of youth. Maybe those are, you know, those play a role. That plays a big role in, I'm sure that plays a big role. But this was a team. The Washington Wizards, coming into this game, were giving up 124 points per game. Giving up 124 points per game, the Washington Wizards were coming into this game. We've got to be able to do better than this against a team that was playing trash defense. Trash defense to begin this season up until tonight. They played decent defense tonight, though. But let's be real. The Washington Wizards have a team that should be, you got John Wall, you got Bradley Beal, Kelly Oubre started at the 3 tonight. You got Markieff Morris. You got Dwight Howard. That's a team that should be fighting for a playoff spot. And they came into this game 1-7. They were desperate. I talked about this a couple of streams ago. Expectations change the way that you approach games. The Washington Wizards expect to be in the playoffs. So when they're 1-7 and they have a game against the New York Knicks, a team that they believe and know that if they just apply a little bit of pressure, they can take them out. Yeah, they're going to come apply that pressure, and that's what they did tonight. And we couldn't handle that pressure. Couldn't handle the pressure. You know, we run down the box score real fast. Damian Dotson played 30 minutes tonight. 11 points, 45.5% from the field, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers. Noah Vonleh only played 10 minutes tonight. 2 points, 4 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson played 26 minutes, 10.6 rebounds, 1 block. Tim Hardaway hurt his back tonight. You know, so we'll be watching that. I was at the game live, and then I came home, jumped on the subway and came home. So I haven't heard anything about Tim Hardaway's back and if he'll play tomorrow. If it were me, I would sit him. I don't see a reason for Tim Hardaway to play tomorrow, in my opinion. Let his back rest. I could see it in the game. He had more energy. He was missing shots still, but he had more energy before his back injury. Or before his back started hurting. And once he came back into the game after he hurt his back, he didn't have the same vigor on the floor. He was moving gingerly, and you could tell his back was bothering him. If it were me, I'd sit him for tomorrow. Let Alonzo Trier step in there. We'll talk about Alonzo Trier, but let Alonzo Trier step in there and get some starters minutes. If Tim Hardaway's back is hurting. Frank Ntilikina, 22 minutes, 6 points, 3 for 7 from the field, 1 rebound, 4 assists, and 4 turnovers. Frank was passing the ball a little bit lazy tonight, in my opinion. Frank's got to learn to put a little bit more on his passes. Sometimes he just throws that thing out there, and it's very, very soft, and that's easy to pick off. He's got to put a little bit more vigor behind it. There was a point in this game where Frank, I thought, and if you listen to me call the game live, I thought that there was a point in this game where Frank needed to say, and this is what he's got to learn as a point guard if he's going to be a point guard in this league. There was a point in this game where I thought Frank needed to say, I'm taking it over, because Hardaway's back was painful. At this point, Trier wasn't in the game. And I thought Frank needed to say, okay, you know what? Let me try to get to the rack. Let me go. Let me do it. Right? And that's something that he's got to learn. He's got to learn that, as a point guard. Because there comes a time when, for most of the time, your traditional point guards, and that's what I think Frank is, your traditional point guards are going to facilitate, get everyone else involved. But those guys, they understand the point. They understand when it comes to that point in the game when they need to say, all right, nobody else is getting it. Let me go. Let me test my hand at it. Frank has to learn that, right? He has to learn, okay, it's my time to test my hand and see if I have the high hand tonight. That's something that he's going to have to learn as a young point guard, and to understand when those times are. All right, Lance Thomas tonight played 7 minutes, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 for 6 from the field. And as Kanter, 18 points, 12 rebounds. Kanter looked a little bit more himself tonight. Although there was one time, and you can hear it if you, I don't expect you to go through the whole 3-hour stream of the game, but there was one time during the stream where I was screaming at Kanter. I was screaming at him to get back because he helped out on the pick and roll, and then his man, I think it was Jason Smith, was down the lane by himself. And Kanter did not get back. That's something. I mean, Kanter has to learn to get back on these screen and rolls and recover to his man. That's the reason why he's on the bench. Emmanuel Mudiay, 4 points, 1 for 5 from the field, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers. Alonzo Trier, 9 points. He only played 21 minutes. I'm sorry. 9 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 2 rebounds, no assists, 3 turnovers. Mario Hezonja had a decent game, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Trey Burke, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. We just never found a good French Unicorn. Yeah, definitely, man. It was great meeting you tonight, French. My man Nate, it was great meeting you, Nate. I can't wait to do it again, guys. I can't wait to get with you guys again. Definitely had a good time. French, we're gonna get a chance, man. I know you're right here a couple hours from me, but we're gonna get a chance to hit a game together. And Nate, we're definitely gonna get a chance to hit a game together. Anyone that's in the DC area, DMV area, You know what I mean? Hit me up because we're going to get a chance to do something, you know, hit some games together at some point, or go to, go to Philadelphia or have a little, game viewing. But anyway, we lost this game. And, it was a game that I thought that we would have a chance to win. Win this game and then move into the Chicago game on a 2-game win streak and try to pull down a win. You know what I mean? But it was not to be tonight. Was not to be. Couple of things. Mitchell Robinson, while he's playing well, and this is his rookie year, this guy we need at some point, Mitch Robinson is going to have to develop a mid-range jump shot. One of the reasons that we had so much trouble penetrating tonight, in my opinion, is because when Mitchell Robinson or Kanter is in the game, neither one of those guys are a true threat from the outside. You know what I mean? Neither one of them are a true threat. Especially when Mitchell Robinson's in the game. He doesn't even turn and look at the basket. Throw Mitchell Robinson the ball at the top of the key, he's automatically looking to hand the ball off to the guard on the opposite wing. And what happens? Dwight Howard would drop all the way back into the paint. Or whoever's guarding him would drop all the way back into the paint. And what's that do? That cuts off penetration. It clogs the paint. You can't get in there. I'm not saying it's Mitchell Robinson's fault. I'm just saying that's something that Mitchell Robinson's going to need to work on to, work on throughout his career to expand his game. And, this is his first year. He's only played, 3-7 right now. He's only played 10 games. He hasn't even played 10 games. He's played less than 10 games. But that's something right off the bat that we know he's going to have to work on. So that's cool. That's okay. That's good. And I want him to continue starting. David Fizdale said he's going to continue starting him. He wants to start him. Let him play. He's proving that he can do it. Let him play. But that's something he's gonna have to develop that mid range. Develop that mid range so that he can be effective. Be effective going forward as the Knicks starting center. Because it hurts. It's going to hurt a lot of games. We are going to struggle penetrating, I think, because he nor Kanter really have right now he's splitting minutes with Kanter for the most part. Mitchell Robinson 26 minutes, Kanter 24 minutes. Splitting minutes with Kanter at their center position. Neither one is a true threat from the mid-range. Kanter maybe a little bit more than Robinson. But with neither one of them being a really big threat from that mid-range, that top of the key or elbow jumper, guys are going to sag off into the paint. And when they sag off into the paint, it's going to be hard to penetrate. That's an issue. I feel that's an issue. Another issue that I seen tonight, that handoff from either the center or your big man to the guard. Also, the handoff from the guard to the guard. Those handoff plays, teams are recognizing that's what we do. And they're beginning to jump those handoffs. We're going to have to be a little bit smarter. I've seen it several times tonight. John Wall, Bradley Beal, they jumped those handoffs and had a fast break. I don't recall if they always converted the fast break, but they would jump those handoffs to have a fast break. We're going to have to do something there. What we need to do, we need to recognize that guys are trying to jump the handoff, fake the handoff. If that guy tries to jump it, the other guard go back door and we look for that backdoor pass. Right? But the way it is right now, well, at least tonight, John Wall, Bradley Beal, they were jumping that handoff, and jumping that handoff, it proved to hurt us, proved to be detrimental to our game because we weren't able to recover from it. And my friends on Instagram, what's up with you? I'm glad you guys are joining on Instagram. I'll find a way to get we haven't had any calls or video chats yet, but when I do, you won't hear it. But we'll find a way to fix that if this is something we'll continue to do. All right. But yeah, they're jumping those handoffs. So that's something we've got to fix, ladies and gentlemen. We got to find a way to fix that. Those are a couple of areas that I've seen. Now, we do have in our video chat right now, this evening, we have Viv in the video chat. I think he's recovered from Friday night. And, he's going to join us for a minute. We're going to talk a little bit about what he's seen in the game. And then we'll get on from there. So, Viv.
Tim, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So tell me, man, how was it Friday night?
Look, Friday night was fun. It was a good meeting a lot of different people. That some of them that joined the chat, some of them that were there at our first opening night. It was good to finally meet a lot of them in person, and I think just having all those Knicks fans all together, it was kind of let's say it was a high after the Mitchell Robinson alley-oop. Once that happened, I think everyone was just having a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
So the reason I came on the chat, I think I told you on Wednesday, was that I just wanted to hop on just for a little bit to show you what the energy is like. But I kind of kept it on a little longer, but that was like my main reason. Otherwise, I obviously wouldn't have got on the chat. But I just wanted to say a couple words while I was still there. So, but yeah.
Yeah, well, you definitely got it in on Friday night, Viv. Yeah, you did. you got it in. It was hard for you to even get words out. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, look at Viv. Everybody in the chat was like, woo, Viv is lit tonight.
I saw the chat before it came in. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. So it's safe to say that you took an Uber home Friday night?
I took a train back home.
Oh, you say you took the train back home? Okay, all right.
Yeah, I got to drive anywhere.
Okay. So talk to us about the game, the game tonight, from what you did see.
Yeah, I think it's tough, Sim. Because I think what happened is that the Wiz, even though the record says otherwise, they're still a tough team we're talking about. They still got Wall, they still got Beal. I mean,
right.
I don't really like them that much, but again, they're still a tough team in that aspect. It can be hard to beat. They can be hard to beat if you're a up and coming team or if you're a young team like that. And I think what they just try to do is they just try to take advantage of a lot of our weaknesses at times. And I think one of our, strengths in a sense is that we just are very aggressive or over aggressive to a point, where we kind of what was the best way to say it? We kind of put teams to a surprise in that sense because we come out with a lot of energy and aggression, but they kind of took it to our disadvantage because of they kind of got everyone in foul trouble, and that just ruined Frank's game for the most part today. Yeah. And I think that pretty much also compromised Vonleh, Mitchell, and a few others. But
all right,
it's a young team, and you have to learn how to kind of balance that aggression with playing intelligently on the floor. So it's good to have this type of game because every now and then you kind of need a reality check. So sometimes a game like this will help reinforce some of the fundamentals that Fizz and others are trying to teach the team.
Yeah. And this was. I mean, I see some people in the chat saying, and like you said, Viv, this is, although they were 1-7, and they're not a typical just 1-7 team. We know that they should be a playoff team, and they probably will be a playoff team. As a matter of fact, they did get off to a slow start last year. They got off to a pretty slow start last year, and they were able to rebound. Prince. There you go. What's up, Prince?
What's up, Sim?
I'm chilling, man. I was disappointed in the game tonight. Really disappointed in this game tonight.
Definitely, man. We, like Sim said, we just didn't run our sets right tonight. John Wall and Bradley Beal, they got up in our guards, and we see what happens when we play against really good guards. I mean, our guards were timid, bringing the ball up the floor. We was didn't really make, like you said with Frank, didn't make confident passes. Wasn't confident just in our, movements to the basket. It was just like you would have thought they had like Mutombo and Robin down there waiting on us or something. Like, it was like they were terrified to penetrate, and then we were knocking shots down. The third and fourth quarter, I almost wanted to turn it off. Yeah. It was so many things that I seen in the game that just hurt my heart. Yeah. Tim Hardaway Jr., I hope he's out for like 3 or 4 weeks with back spasms. I truly do. I hope he sits down. If you listen to it, what'd you say, Sam?
No, I was saying, we'll see what's up with Tim Hardaway. One of the things with the penetration that I seen though is that it's very hard to penetrate when when the opposing team center is playing so far back off of your center, and you have your center at the top of the key, right? And you have your center at the top of the key, because your center is handing the ball off to the guard on the opposite wing and then going and setting another screen for another guard. Well, guess what? That opposing center, Dwight Howard, was chilling in that paint all night long.
Yeah, like they was playing 2-3. Like they was playing the 2-3. I can see that. I can see that. I can see what you said.
Because they don't respect they don't respect Mitchell Robinson's mid-range jump shot, because he doesn't even look to turn towards the basket. They don't respect the jump shot. It's okay. I'm not getting on Mitchell Robinson. I'm just saying this is part of the reason we had such a hard time getting to the cup.
I could see that. I didn't look at it from that standpoint, Sim, but I could definitely see that, because again, that's something that I think you and we was talking about this early in the season. I mean, first couple games, and maybe even in the preseason, about Mitchell Robinson, his offensive prowess. And that's just the thing, like you said, like I'm looking forward to him to at least try to make some type of offensive moves off of that, that handoff. Because like you said earlier when you were talking to Viv, teams were, Bradley Beal and John Wall, and they started shooting those, those passing lanes on those handoffs, because again, a lot of them was lackadaisical, lazy handoffs. And then a lot of them was just, they was, you could see them coming a mile away. So much like you said, I hope that maybe he can turn something on to, even if he ain't, not to say put the ball on the deck, but turn and try to shoot or post, something, pump fake, do something to give the defense, like you said, make the defense respect you out there. I don't think you're going to start knocking down threes or nothing like that just yet, but you have to do something to make that, like you said, make that center at least want to come out there and bother you, if not even try to guard you. But, some type of, make, like you said, you have to be some type of asset on the offensive end for us. And I mean, more than just catching oops and catching, grabbing rebounds. He has to find some way to, make some type of 12, 14, 15 footers, something like that, to just add more depth to his game. So like you said, people who are guarding him have to respect his jump shot out there. And it'll open up more, like you said. So again, that hurt. It was funny because my girl and my kids was watching the game today with me, and my girl was like, "Dang!" As soon as Tim Hardaway got back in the game, we started losing again. I was like, "Oh man!" I was like, "Oh man!" Oh man! Well, so that definitely hurt my heart. My wife called that one out. Like, he went out, we got back in, then he came back in, and then he hurt us because he couldn't play no defense. He wasn't knocking down shots. So, I mean, this is just another growing pain game. I'm not mad. It just sucks. And, like I said, hopefully we get Knox back coming back this week, and the young guys can start to take over, and we can truly, really start seeing the Fizz kids really start doing their thing, because I think it wasn't just Tim Hardaway though. I think that whole starting unit, whenever they came back in the game, that starting unit wasn't good against the Wizards starting unit, in my opinion. Not tonight. They just didn't have no energy. Like you said, I don't know if it was the energy. It was like you said, the lack thereof. Like you said, it was that second unit with Moutier, Trier, and Hazonia and those guys. They actually, like you said, they seemed like they wanted to play. The first unit came out there like, maybe they was eating too much mumbo sauce, man. Maybe they was eating too much mumbo sauce and chicken. I don't know.
I don't know. I think the starting unit, maybe they just didn't match up well, whatever it was. But they weren't good. They weren't good tonight at all, right? But I know a lot of people are saying, blame it on the guards, blame it on the guards. And listen, our guards got outplayed by Bradley Beal and John Wall. That's without a doubt. But also,
and most teams are like that.
Yeah, most teams are like that. But I think we have to pay attention going forward. I think we really have to pay attention going forward. To our bigs not being able to knock down mid-range shots. I think that's going to be an issue. I think that's definitely going to be an issue for us, right? And it's going to stop guards from being able to penetrate to the basket if our bigs are not able to do something. And I'm not blaming Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson's not supposed to have that kind of game right now, right? He's not supposed to. He's 20 years old, rookie in the league. He's played less than 10 games in his career. You know what I mean? And he's starting. Big much props to Mitchell Robinson. But that's just an aspect of the game that we've got to see. Now, when someone like KP gets back, whenever he gets back, that's going to change because he can knock down that mid-range shot. And now you got to pull the big man out of the paint. You know what I mean? And now you create lanes for guards to be able to penetrate. So I just think that's something that we should watch for, because even when Zoe or Trey Burke is going to the basket, there's a crowd of people there. Now, good defensive teams is going to be like that anyway, But there's a crowd of people there, and it makes it kind of difficult for those guys to be able to convert. Go ahead, Viv. You want to say something? Then I want to talk about ISO Zoe.
In general, our guards are not. They don't have that moxie yet to get to the line like that, and they're you see it even with the Moutiers and Burks of the world, that they don't have that inner ability to draw fouls, or they don't have the vision or angles to get to the line easily. And we don't have any players like that, to an extent that easily can get themselves to the foul line. And without having someone who can do that, it limits your ability to prevent some of these long runs.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that we gave up 39 free throws, I think the combination of that and the turnovers just really it really messed up.
Well, and one area there with us giving up so many free throws, man, is this switch. These switching, I don't know how many times Frank Ntilikina, I think, had 4 fouls tonight, because they continue to switch him off onto a big man. And, he's picking up fouls by, getting... Now, Mitchell Robinson does a good job guarding, shooting guards, point guards out on the perimeter. He does a good job. Frank cannot cover a big man down low. He's just not strong enough. Mitchell Robinson has enough length.
That was not part of the plan. Fizz mentioned that in the post game, where a lot of those flips were not supposed to be switched. So that was just, I think, poor execution by our younger players. But they had no business switching there.
Yeah, and they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be, because Frank's got to fight over the screen. And he's good at fighting over screens. So he's got to fight over the screen to stay with his guy. And any other guard, they got to fight over the screen so they can stay with their guy, so that we don't get caught with Frank or Trey or Moutier or whoever on a big man down low. It's happening too much. And, Frank is picking up fouls that way. You know what I mean? He's picking up fouls there. I think that... we're a team that's, we're a team that's growing and learning, but those are some things that we've really got to. We can see it. We got to guard against it. Let's talk about Alonzo Trier, because Alonzo Trier is obviously a guy that can get to the cup. Alonzo Trier played, and he can get to the cup, not just get to the cup. He can get to the cup, convert, and get fouled and go to the basket. And go to the line. We got killed at the line tonight. We shot 16 free throws. The Washington Wizards shot 39 free throws. They made 30. We made 12. Right? That's the difference in the game right there. Okay? Alonzo Trier can help us to get to the line. I think we need Alonzo Trier in the game. I want to see more Alonzo Trier. You know, because I feel like Alonzo Trier, even if his jumper isn't falling or whatever, I feel like Alonzo Trier, because of his ability to break down the defense and get to the rack, get hit, he's going to help us offensively. He's going to help us get to the line, and he shoots well from the free throw line. Then he can play defense. We've seen him, that at least one time on John Wall tonight, where he made John Wall turn the ball over. So he plays very good on defense. He's relentlessly in attack mode now. The argument against it, if there is an argument against it, would be, that he does like to dribble a lot. You know what? We get that, but he is a rookie too. And he can learn. Right now, I think Trier needs to be on the floor. He needs to be on the floor a lot. You know what I mean? A lot. What do you think, Viv?
Yeah, I was telling you this before we got on the chat, but I think Trier around, the 26, 28 minute mark, that's what his potential, and that's kind of where he should be. Because he has a six-man type of vibe with his team more than Kanter in that sense, and I think he's a player that can mesh easily with both lineups, and there's a role for the versatility that he can provide. You can put him in the lineup if you want to go small, for example, and you don't have Mitchell Robinson, you don't have Vonleh on the floor. Right? You can kind of fit him in there with Dot, Hardaway, and Frank, and just make things interesting on that end. Or you just have him, just come off the bench he just needs the minutes. And I think right now, I'm looking at the minute distribution from this game. Mm-hmm. Now, I got to a blowout, so a lot of the minutes kind of got over-exaggerated to that point. Right. I think Trier's got to be in the mid to upper 20s. And I think you'll probably see someone like a Burke, for example. His minutes are going to drop a bit. And it's going to be tough because I think that, unfortunately, Trier provides stuff that Burke can't. And there's just the way he attacks the paint. Mm-hmm. You don't see that consistently from Burke. So I feel like, and the other thing is Trier can play multiple positions, I think, because of his height. Right. So he has room out there, and whatever he'll do, he has an energy too that also rubs off on players as well. Yeah. So I feel like you can put him on the floor, and then all of a sudden the energy level goes up. Mm-hmm. And Trier got a lot of love from Bradley Beal tonight. A lot of love from Bradley Beal. If you get a chance to see a little interview clip, I saw that. Yeah. He got a lot of love from Bradley Beal tonight, and it's well deserved. The Prince, what do you think, man? Alonzo Trier needs more minutes.
I'm definitely with it. Hey, sign me up for Trier. I was going to ask you in what capacity, because much like you said, you and Viv kind of hit that number with 28 to 30 minutes, which isn't asking a lot, especially on our team where he can be used. But that's what I wanted you to kind of go in a little bit deeper to say, who's like you said, who else outside of Trey Burke is going to, i.e. either have to get traded, waived, or like you said, you're just going to be wearing a suit for the next 15, 20 games. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, Trier he's out here playing pretty good minutes.
Well, I think that's going to work itself out when that time comes. And we still have more time before those 45 days, I guess, is up. I think that, you're looking at, guys like Ron Baker, Courtney Lee, not that they would get waived, but maybe traded. You trade two players for one player and you open up a spot or something like. I don't know. I have no idea. Or maybe somebody does get waived. Now if they're gonna think about waiving somebody, they would probably waive someone like a Trey Burke if they don't feel that he's what they need. Because of his salary, he has a low salary. So, why would you pay Ron Baker $4 million to go away? Or why would you waive, or why would you give Moutier $4 million to go away when you can give Trey Burke $1 million to go away? You know what I mean?
So it looked like
If it looks like it's going to come down to that. Now there may be other moves or other things that can be traded, that can be done. That time is coming up soon. But Trey Burke's not going to. I mean, Alonzo Trier is not going to spend any time in the G League. I'm pretty positive. I think he's going to be on the team, and I think he needs more minutes. And so where do those minutes come from? Who gets less minutes? It could be anyone on any given night. If Hardaway's not playing well, maybe Trier gets more minutes. If Frank Ntilikina isn't playing well, maybe Trier gets more minutes. If Moutier's not playing well, maybe Trier gets more minutes. Because those guys aren't going to be. There's always one of those guys is not going to play well. You know what I mean? And so, those minutes will be there for Trier. And then, of course, Trey Burke, his minutes are probably, at this point, it seems like his minutes are, if we need you and you're doing well, you're going to play. If we don't need you, you're not going to play. He seems to be on that kind of a bubble. Tonight he played 20 points because why? He can get to the rack. Right? And we seen him get to the rack.
I mean, the foul trouble, I think. So.
Yeah, and Frank Ntilikina was also in foul trouble. Frank Ntilikina. And it made me a little upset that Frank Ntilikina got in foul trouble too, because he started. I don't want to say he started playing well. He started. He scored 4 points in the third. I wanted to see if he was going to get more aggressive, continue to stay more aggressive in that third quarter. He put in a couple of buckets. I wanted to see, was he going to, try to get after it or not. But he ended up switching off onto a big and getting a foul. You know what I mean? So that play is definitely killing us. And if it's those guys doing switching, they need to follow whatever Coach Fizdale wants them to do. But I want Trier to play more. I want Trier to get. I think he should be getting up to 30 minutes a game, close to 30 minutes a game, and coming down the stretch. I think Trier needs to be in the game down the stretch. I don't know over who.
I like it.
But he needs to be in the game down the stretch. Say that again?
I like the Trier and Moutier combo, actually. I think I saw the last couple of games, and I saw that they both kind of worked off each other. Mm-hmm. And I think that Moutier, as much of his faults that he has, he can get the ball to people a little bit easier. And you kind of saw it more on Friday, when I think the team had 27 assists on Friday. You kind of saw that they were getting the ball a lot easier to other players.
Yeah.
And the ball moved almost. We had 19 assists, which wasn't good, but I know for first half or whatever, at least part of the third, we were at around 18 assists. We just kind of lost. We kind of fell off the rails for a while. But
we had 11 assists. We had 11 assists at the half. 11 assists.
For 11,
pace to like 22. Third quarter. I mean, we actually had we had a decent third quarter. We cut the lead to 3. Right? I think it was 81-78 at the end of the third quarter. And then, fourth quarter, we were playing well most of the way through till about 7 minutes left. And then we let it go from there. We let it go from there. But Trier stays relentless. That's what I like about him. He stays relentless, and he puts the other team, he puts them on notice. He keeps them on their heels. You know what I mean? And you've got to worry about him. You've got to worry about Alonzo Trier. Now, ladies and gentlemen, and anyone that's on Instagram, I'm sorry that you're not able to hear the callers that come in. So if I'm a little bit silent sometimes, that means that they're talking and you can't exactly hear what they're saying. But if you want to hear what they're saying, you can come on over to YouTube, youtube.com/nothingbutnicks. The next time I do this, and I will try to do it again tomorrow night. Hopefully I'll have it set up so that you can hear everything. We'll see. I got a busy day tomorrow. So I don't know if I'll be able to get that set up tomorrow night. I will be on tomorrow, but I'll have a busy day. But anyway, I want to talk about the Chicago game. We play Chicago tomorrow night. Viv, any takes on the Chicago game?
Yeah. I'll tell you, this is probably going to be much easier than today's game. And the way they both have been playing, they're a perfect example of, how not to develop a team. Now, from a talent perspective, their best guard obviously is Zach LaVine, and he can get buckets whenever and wherever he wants. Now, Wendell Carter Jr., I've been following him last few games. He's actually had a very, very good run 3 or 4 games now. He can score, he can grab the rebounds, he can pass the ball pretty well, and he can block a lot of shots. So I'm curious to see how Mitchell Robinson plays against him, battle of rookies. But Wendell Carter Jr. showed a lot more polish. Now, he's not as freakishly athletic as him, I don't think. So I think he has a wingspan, but, the guy can play. And right. I'm curious to see how they match up. But the Bulls' problem is just defense, lack of effort, and lack of care. So I feel like they don't have a lot of pride in themselves. So the way they've been losing recently, like that whole Golden State fiasco and however bad they lost a couple games ago. It could kind of make it a rout, but again, you never know with these type of teams. They're very fickle in that way. But yeah, I know that Jabari Parker has been a huge disappointment on both ends of the floor. Yeah, his athleticism post ACL injuries have really gone down, and he's become a huge defensive liability. So, if I'm the Knicks, I would try to stay intelligent and make sure you take advantage of the fact that no one plays defense.
Okay. Yeah, and Wendell Carter, man, just, you were talking about Wendell Carter. Right now, Wendell Carter is averaging 11.1 points, 7.1 rebounds per game. And listen, you know what? Mitchell Robinson can very well, I believe he can probably average that as well. If he continues to start, he could be around that 11-7, 10-6 per game. He's getting more and more comfortable starting. So he can have those numbers too. But like you said, he's probably a lot more polished on the offensive side of the floor. Chicago right now, they as a team, they are, what are they, 2-8?
Yeah.
They're 2 wins, 8 losses. They score 107 points per game. They give up 115 points per game. You know what? I guess at this point in the season, that really doesn't mean a hill of beans, because the Washington Wizards were giving up 124 points per game. We scored under 100 versus them. Now.
Yeah, it doesn't mean much, but I mean, the Bulls are kind of expected to be this bad.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I guess that probably makes more sense. The Wiz were supposed to be expected to be a better team, and they have the veterans to prove it. But
yeah,
the Bulls are a young team that's really just playing terribly.
Yeah, and that was one of my things coming down the stretch. If you listen to my live stream during the game, one of my concerns is that if the Knicks are down double digits in the fourth quarter, that we wouldn't be able to get back, simply because you have a guy like John Wall, Bradley Beal, and Dwight Howard who've been in the league for a while. So you got, and we got, young guys who just don't know how to do it. Frank Ntilikina, Tim Hardaway. And while people will say, well, Tim Hardaway's been in the league for a while, he's never been in a position to have to be one of the closers down the stretch. So he's learning new as well. So the inexperience I felt, with these guys might come into play if it were either a close game, or if it was, we didn't have the lead, or if they had a big lead coming down the stretch. And as you've seen, once they got a big lead, once they went up down the stretch, with 5 minutes left and they were up 10, they wasn't giving it back. I seen it, I knew it. They wasn't giving it back. There was no way it was going to happen. Chicago is a different team. They're also a young team, and they're going to have that same inexperience. They may give it back. Prince, what do you think, man?
Definitely. I think same facts that Vin was saying. I mean, these are NBA players that we're playing up against. They got a couple of their guys back. I think what's the guard's name? He was a rookie last year. He came back. Wendell Carter's definitely been playing pretty good. So again, we got to come out a lot hungrier than we've had. We came out tonight. Because it's a weaker Chicago team, we're going to have to come out with that same aggression and intensity that we played a couple nights ago. And just basically, oppose our will on these teams that aren't good. Much like you said, Bradley Beal and John Wall, those are two top point guards. And like you said, Dwight's been in the league for a while. So again, on paper, we probably should have beat Washington, but they are a formidable foe. They're a pretty good team. Same thing going with Chicago, just like we said. We're going to have to play because they're sorry, but they're going to want to win too. So again, with that being said, we got to come out. We got to play fizz basketball, share the ball, play good defense, play smart defense, not get in foul trouble. And prayerfully, we be able to make some damn shots because that killed us today. We couldn't make no shots. We was 5 for 29 from 3-point line. Like that's ridiculous. I probably couldn't knock down 5 threes. That's sick. We gotta figure out a way to make some buckets and make easier buckets. I think that's our problem too, Sim. We talked about that throughout the chats, but I think that's a big problem with us. We don't make easy buckets. It's hard for our team to get easy open threes or an easy backdoor cut layup. It's like we have to grind out everything, even on the offensive end. So hopefully, like you said, some things will start to click and we can start getting a lot easier buckets so that maybe transition or defense. But again, we just have to make the game easier for us. There's too many young kids and too many inexperienced guys to just go out there and think that we're going to be able to hero ball and score buckets on a pass and then an ISO play. Like, no, share the ball, move the ball, set good screens, and help your teammates get open. So with that being said, going into Chicago, definitely just sticking to how we won the couple games that we have won, and that's playing good basketball, sharing the ball, and playing good defense. Listening to Fizz.
Chicago. Let's see how we rebound. I feel like we're going to rebound. We ended up losing this game by double digits, but again, it was another game. With a team that has vets on it, although they were 1-7, a team that has vets on it, another game within 6 minutes, we're right there. But I knew come down the stretch, they have a double-digit lead. They wasn't giving it up. Against Chicago, like I said, it's going to be another young team that doesn't have the same, they have the same amount of experience that we have for the most part. Right now, Chicago, like I said, as far as points scored per game, they average 107. They shoot 45% from the field, 38.5% from three. Let me see, 41.2 rebounds per game. They only turn the ball over 14.9 times per game. 6.5. What is this? Steals per game. 5.1 blocks. They do average 24 assists per game. All right. There's going to be a team that, of course, is in the same boat as us. They did, like, I don't know, somebody I seen said in the chat, they had the upper hand on us last year. For whatever reason, we couldn't beat Chicago at all last year. Now, we have a very different team than last year, but we couldn't touch Chicago last year. You know what I mean? We couldn't touch them last year. I don't know why. And I see Mark, I tried to let you in like 50 times, bro. They did have. You know what I'm saying? Every time I let you in, you jump out. For whatever reason. You know what I mean? I can't keep every time I turn around letting you in when you keep jumping up out the jump. You know what I'm saying? I need you to stay in there. I need you to stay in there because you be in and then you're out. You're in and then you're out. What's up?
Oh, it ain't me. It's the service itself.
And what's popping with you, man? Talk to us about Chicago and New York tomorrow. Because we coming down to the end. I'm going to be jumping off real soon.
Yeah, well, Chicago, they have a whole bunch of talent. And the way Levine been playing, he's going to destroy our defense. He really is going to destroy our defense the way he's playing. He's been looking phenomenal. think he's scoring like 28 points. No, 24 points a game, but he's doing it like with utmost confidence. He's a different player. And, you know, my boy Wendell Carter Jr. coming along as I knew he would, because he's just solid. He is solid. And they have gritty guards. They have they have gritty guards also. So they probably get up into our guards. And Chicago's been owning us. They owned us for the last year, 4 games straight. So I'm not really positive. I'm not really positive with the Knicks winning tomorrow. And we can't rebound. We can't rebound.
We suck as a rebounding team.
It's like Kanter just don't want to play no more, and I'm glad he don't. So he won't come off this bench anymore.
Well, Kanter had 18 and 12 tonight, though. You can't see. Kanter had his rebounds tonight. Of course, you know what he's going. Hold on. You know what he's going to do on the defensive end. You were just talking about rebounds, and you were saying it's like he doesn't want to rebound. He had 12 rebounds tonight, so you got to give him that. Defensively, you already know what he's going to do.
Bro, I'd rather have someone else on the floor that want to play than someone that's going to collect numbers and not do anything at all. Those are like empty numbers.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna disagree with you tonight because I thought that Kanter did okay. Of course, he had some defensive lapses. We know he's gonna have defensive lapses, but we had some moments in the game when we were tight where he scored.
And that's
he got
where we
offensive
lost.
rebounds. But hold on. We had some moments in the game. You can't say he doesn't do anything. Right, we had some moments in the game where he did get an offensive rebound and put it back, or where he did get into the post and score in the post. Come on, you got to give that. Just because we know that he makes mistakes, but you can't say he doesn't do anything. Come on, B.
Bro, this game is about vital points in the game where teams will go on a run. Listen.
But you got to get to that vital point too. You got to get to that vital point too. If you can't get to the vital point, then there is no vital point. You got to get to the vital point. So, Sim,
you telling me he's going to win that game? If Kanter didn't allow Wall to drive on him 3 times straight?
Well, okay, stop right there.
That's when we lost the game. Wait a
minute. I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn you off. Because you just said if Kanter did not allow Wall to drive on him 3 times straight. Mark, there's barely a guard in the league that can stop Wall from driving. And you expect Kanter to stop Wall from driving? Come on, man. I'm not even going to deal with that one. Name me a guard that's going to stop John Wall from driving to the basket. And you want Kanter to stop driving? You want Kanter, and that's Kanter, slow-footed, and that's Kanter to stop John Wall from driving to the basket. Come on, man. I mean, really. We know that he has defensive lapses, and we know he has problems in the screen and roll, in guarding the screen and roll. But you can't expect him to stop John Wall. You know what I mean? Isaiah, man, what's popping, bro?
Hey.
I mean.
Oh man. Hold on. Let me mute Mark.
I'm just saying. I do understand what his Kanter's lapses, right? But I'm not. He gave us 18 and 12, and he gave us some key baskets to keep us in the game. He did. Go back and watch the game. He gave us some key baskets. You can't blame everything on one player. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? How can you blame everything on one player? Because John Wall drove on Enes Kanter, that's how we lost the game? John Wall on Enes Kanter? No. I don't get that, because Enes Kanter shouldn't have been on John Wall in the first place. Because you shouldn't have switched then. You cannot expect John Wall and Enes Kanter to stop John Wall. Never is that going to happen. Go ahead, Isaiah, man.
Hi, Sam. How you doing? How's
What's
everything?
up, man? Chilling.
Oh man. Yeah. This was a this game was this was the definition of a trap game.
A trap game?
A trap game. Well,
I don't know. Like, well, I'm just gonna say, as a Knick, us being 3-6 or 3-7, I don't know if there's any trap games for us.
Well, what I mean more by the they were 1-7. They looked terrible. Okay. They haven't been playing well, and it was like I had a feeling that the Knicks were the Knicks weren't going to win because the Wizards have kicked our butts since like for the last 6 years we barely beat the Wizards. So I thought this would be a game that they probably would get. Listen, the whole team played like doo-doo. That's as simple as that. Whole team played like doo-doo. A lot of people, nobody really stepped up when we need to. We got a tough game tomorrow in Chicago. Kevin Knox won't be in the game tomorrow, so we're gonna have to do it collectively. And
I thought Kevin Knox was gonna come back tomorrow.
No, he's not no more.
He's not. Okay.
He's not gonna play no more.
Okay.
So he's probably gonna play next week. He's gonna probably play next week.
Okay, I didn't get a chance to see any kind of news. I mean, he looked good in the pregame warm up. He looked good, but obviously I can't tell what kind of pain he's in. And Mark, yeah, hold up 1 second, Isaiah. Yes, I do come down on Hardaway, but if you paid attention the last 3 or 4 streams, I've been giving Hardaway his props because he deserved his props, but never, ever, ever do I say this game came down to because Hardaway didn't do this or didn't do that. I complain about different things that I do not like about Hardaway. I've never said his stats are empty. Right? I complained about his shot selection. I complained about his efficiency and his defense. Right? But no game is ever going to come down to one person. No game is ever, obviously it can come down to a last shot or someone, not getting a stop. But it takes a team to get to that point. It takes the whole team to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to listen to what you said. You said that we lost the game because Inez Kanter couldn't stop John Wall. That just doesn't make sense. Because he couldn't stop John Wall on the perimeter? I mean, come on, man. My fault, Isaiah.
Hey, well, you know what? You hear me, Sam?
Yeah.
All right, listen. Let me just say this. At the end of the day, basketball is a team sport. You're 100% right about that, Sam. There's no such thing as.
Of course.
There's literally. Sport. People might want to say this, but it's literally no one player loses a game. It just don't work like that. Team basketball don't. People see the last possession of a game and be like, "Oh, he lost you the game." No, it don't work like that. There's many things that goes on in a basketball game where at any point of the game you can be like, "Okay, this person loses the game." What if somebody doesn't hit a free throw in the beginning of the game and then we lose by 1? Isn't that person's fault?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Let me stay open, Isaiah. Go ahead, Mark.
So you're telling me that one player cannot ruin it for a team to lose a game? Is that what Isaiah's saying?
Can one player ruin the whole game? A player can make a mistake, but yeah. I don't care. I don't care if you have a player. Because you also got to blame coaches. If there's a player that's fucking up in the game, then the coach should take his ass out.
Oh, Jesus!
Right? Then the coach should take his ass out the game. You know what I mean? So you also got coaches too, right?
Okay, so my whole thing is why do you put this guy in this game? He shows no resistance. Like he don't even show himself to the guards to even show like I'm here. He doesn't do that. He just lets them just go like it's a free lane every time.
He does.
And we was in that game. We was in that game. That's why I'm so upset because when I saw him.
So are you upset at Kanter or you upset at Fizdale? Because Fizdale's the one who put him in the game.
But let me ask you a question. As a player, right? As a player, if you see somebody doing something repeatedly, you telling me you can't adjust to that? You telling me that you can't show face that, okay, well, I'm here. You're not going to blow past me like that. He shows no resistance as a big.
Are you really going to tell me that Kanter can do something about John Wall driving past him besides foul him? There is nothing you can do.
I'm going to break it down to you. Remember in the finals when Curry was on Kevin Love? And people thought Kevin Love was going to get blown by? What did Kevin Love do? He tried hard.
One possession.
Did not try hard. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Possession, Mark.
Dude.
It doesn't.
See, that's why. See, ladies and gentlemen, that's the reason. That's the reason why Mark got to get muted because he's gonna scream all up into his phone.
Hold on, Sam. But Sam,
maybe,
you can hear me, Sam?
Hold up, Isaiah. But maybe Kevin Love just has better defensive skills than Inez Kanter. You know what I'm saying? You cannot expect. I don't care I don't care what you say. You cannot expect Enes Kanter to stop John Wall on the perimeter. 10 out of 10 times, John Wall is gonna blow past him and go to the basket. I don't even want to hear that. He can't stop him without fouling him.
Sim, can I say something, Sim? Sim, can I say something, Sim?
Yep, go ahead.
Listen, Mark, I love you, bro. You're a good dude. But come on, bro. I got you muted so I can't hear you. Listen, man. You talking about Kevin Love one play
Come on, man.
in 2016 with Steph Curry, one play. This was before they had Draymond Green, where it was only Steph Curry, Clay, and Dre. One play where he guarded him.
So Kanter could have made.
So signs on the dog's ass.
Wait, hold on. So Kanter could have made one play. Wait. He could have made one play out of 3 plays.
Dude, he's not going to stop John Wall. He is not going to stop John Wall.
He's not going to stop John Wall.
Kanter's feet is too slow. Guards, there's not guards.
Stop playing him. Period.
There's not guards that's going to stop John Wall. But guards in the league are not going to stop John Wall.
But also too, Sim, and then what Marcus trying to say is we got to hide Kanter. How can we hide Kanter when it's 1 year, 2 year players that are still trying to learn the game? We know what Kanter is. That's the thing. Listen, this is for anybody in the NBA. Every team has bad defenders. That is a fact. Most of the NBA are bad defenders. You can't hide them. Unless you're Golden State or the Raptors that are really, or the Boston Celtics that are really good defensive teams, you can't hide players. It's just not.
Get to a caller too, man. Let me bring my blood pressure down because I'm about to get off this stream anyway because I got to get up early. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's going on, Sam? This is Rob the Knicks.
I'm chilling, man. How you?
Man, I told you, man. Mark is crazy, man. I told you, man. Mark.
I don't know. I think we just have a difference of opinion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get what he's saying. He wants Kanter to try a little bit harder than what than maybe what he sees. You know what I mean? But I just don't think that there's anything that Kanter is going to be able to do with John Wall.
Hey, yo, and it's not. And but Mark always look, to be a fan of the Knicks, Mark look at things totally like, okay, like the Knicks are supposed to be like what they're not. We all know what we are right now. We're a young team. It's not Kanter's fault because he can't stop John Wall. He tries. He had good stats today. He played hard. I didn't have no problem with him. We couldn't close the game. Hardaway got hurt, and that's one thing I want to say. Look, Hardaway is important to them kids out there because I look at it like this here. When my son was growing up and I played with him and he played with me on the team when he playing with the older cats, he always referred to passing the ball nowhere. In clutch time, he wouldn't do anything when I'm not on the court. And that's how the Knicks look. They look to him. We may look to him as a different way, like, okay, yeah, he ain't playing D. Because they're not going to take the shot. Trier is going to take the shot no matter what. He's Kevin Mitchell. That's one way you can trade Hardaway, and it's no problem, and you can put Trier in the starting lineup. You trade Hardaway, you can put him in the starting lineup, and we'll be going from there. He may win Rookie of the Year going that way. But, man, Mark just needs to chill because the concept of what he be talking about is like he always look for a blame on the player. And you can't look at a game like that, like you just waiting, like Levine is going to kill us tomorrow. Levine ain't doing nothing that Hardaway ain't doing for us. He's playing suspect ball. He's playing good ball. That's all. But he's not going to kill us. He's not going to do all of that. He may get some numbers, but he's not coming in the game scoring 50. He may get him 20 and sit down, and I think that we're going to beat Chicago anyway because from head to toe, I think we're a better team than Chicago is right now. And that's just the bottom line, but, I wasn't going to even call in today until I heard Mark. I was just going to chill. but he need to chill with his. He go a little bit too far overboard about what teams are going to do to us. No matter what, I don't know if he waiting for Porzingis to get back before he put his face back down. But if you listen to Mark, everybody is going to be this guy's going to do. Kyrie can shoot 1 for 30 in the first 3 quarters. He made 2 plays in the fourth quarter. Oh, that's what he do. He need to chill, bro, for real. He's just a little bit too much out there.
Yeah, and, Mark is passionate. He's just a passionate Knicks fan, though, man. I think he's just a passionate Knicks fan. I mean, first of all, like, we not mad at each other. You know what I'm saying? We're not mad at each other. We just, it's all love. It's all love. It's just.
But look, to be passionate and you know what type of team that you have right now. If anybody that don't know basketball, like my son and my little daughter was over here, they was listening. They was like, you would think that the Knicks was in the championship level by the way that Mark is acting. My daughter was like, that's a young kid.
And I apologize. Please apologize to your daughters for me cursing. I apologize for that. Please apologize to them for me. Yeah, please apologize to him.
He usually don't do that, but she hear me when I watch the game sometimes. It slips out sometimes. He understands that, but she ain't taking it.
I apologize to them for that, and didn't hear that.
But look, we gonna do all right. But I think we're gonna bounce back tomorrow with a strong game. And and I feel as though I think that Fizz probably need to put a little bit more of Kanter and Robinson on the floor together. Because Robinson is proving himself as far as like the rebounding is concerned. That's not really going to be like a big concern when people move. He held his own against Dwight today. And I feel as though because he's more active than any center. So with those kickbacks to him when he gets the rebound and things like that, he's got a certain skill set that I think that he can work his way around that.
Yeah.
And I think that if they're on the floor together, that, it'll help on the rebounding. And, and I think that, and from what Kanter is doing right now, I think that, he's going to be all right. He's getting over his attitude. He can't, it is what it is with that.
Yeah, hopefully he got over it. But hey, man, I appreciate the call, and I got an early morning, so I'm getting ready to jump up off of here. So I got an early morning tomorrow.
Man, Mark, just chill. Everything gonna be all right. Just chill out.
Yeah, we good.
All right, man.
All right, peace. Peace.
All right, peace.
See what happens, New York Knicks, man. New York Knicks, y'all gotta stop getting this. Y'all can't make Knicks fans go at each other like this. New York Knicks, if you're listening, you know what I'm saying, we gotta do things the right way, because you got New York Knicks fans coming at each other. All right, fellas, I'm about to end this for the night. We're gonna get our last words up because I got an early morning. So we're gonna end this. We're gonna get this out of here for tonight. Let me see. I'm gonna start with Viv. Viv, what's popping, man? End this off for the night.
Listen, look, I didn't catch a lot of the animated conversation that went on with the whole debate about this player, that player. All I think about at the end of the day, look, it's just one loss against the Wizards. We need a reality check every now and then, so I treat the loss as a reality check. So we just focus on some things that we might not have focused on had we won a game. So that's what I think of this game. I think we'll do better tomorrow. I just think the way we naturally play will help us, will lead to that. And, it's so easy to overreact. And I know people might also overreact tomorrow, say if we have a blowout or whatever. But we got to, Fizz is the type of coach, he said, I'm going to work on, all the negative things that went wrong after every game, right? So, Fizz got a lot of film to work on to digest after Monday. So, I hope he spends that time between today's game or this past night's game and tomorrow's game to really grill the team into proper principles and whatnot.
All right, Viv. Well, I'm gonna be on tomorrow night. I have to look at my schedule and see how things work out. Hopefully, I'm able to get on for the pregame. You know, if I can't get on, hopefully I'm able to record something for the pregame. But if not, I'll definitely be on halftime and then for the postgame. So
I'll try to sneak in the postgame. Postgame might be tough, but let me see what I can do postgame. Also, games at MSG. So I thought someone said the game's in Chicago, but I guess the game's at home. So
yeah,
that probably makes a difference for us.
Yeah, I think the game's at home. I'll check just to make sure, but I believe the game is.
No, it's at home. I can check right now.
Okay, cool. All right. All right, Viv. Appreciate it, man.
All right, I'll catch you tomorrow.
All right, peace. All right, Prince.
Hey, man, I'll be real quick tonight, man. Shout out to chat. Good talk, man. Real quick, Sim, I'm with you on that, bro. You know me, man, because I'm quick to throw Tim Hardaway under the bus as soon as he do anything stupid where I feel like he costs us a game. So definitely, I know you was preaching to the choir, brother, with that one. One thing though, you know what I'm saying, like you said, to big up what you were saying, and Mark, if you don't want to understand it, you can hear it if you want to. That play actually was Trey Burke's fault. Both of those plays, Trey Burke got burnt, and John Wall actually just beat him and penetrated the teeth of our defense. There's nothing Kanter could have did. Mitchell Robinson wouldn't have did nothing in it. The worst thing he could have did was foul him, and he would have got an and one. So at the end of the day, you know, we can, you know, like you said, Sim, let your blood pressure get high all you want to. We still got another 70-some games to play, man. So again, see y'all tomorrow night. Shout out to chat. Look forward to Fizz and see how these boys look tomorrow, man. And I just look forward to having some fun, man. Hopefully we play a lot of better games.
All right.
Peace, Rich. Peace, Ed.
Peace. All right. Let me see. Mark. Hey, Mark. You already know, man. It's all. Look, hold on. You already know. It's all love. So anything that anyone else is saying, I mean, I think, you know, the other guy, he's just, he ain't taking nothing serious either. But, you know it's all love, Mark.
Listen, don't let my expression on my face think that the chat is getting to me. I don't know most of these chats, so it doesn't bother me. But anyway, like I'm saying is, listen, you get to critique Tim, right? You don't like Tim for what he brings to the team. So when I see something, when we was close in the game, and I say, okay, Kanter, you're a culprit because, yeah, he said Trey Burke got beat, but it's his job to show his face. I'm just saying, anytime guards penetrate, it's a big guy's job to show face. That's all I was trying to say. And it was just 3 plays. The score was 88-86, and Washington couldn't hit a basket. And that was our time because we was coming back. We was in the game. We was coming back. And I said that was our time to pounce. And as soon as John Wall came back into the game, yeah, Trey got beat. But that play happened 3 times straight. And as a smart NBA player, you should know you should not have 3 times, and you was at the game, so you should see what I'm talking about. And it's constantly with Kanter where he shows no resistance. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody because I know what Kanter does every game. Period, and it hurts us.
All right, Mark, we're gonna be on tomorrow night, man.
So, wait, hold on. One thing. Why wouldn't that guy, the last call and say I'm not a Knicks fan? Do you understand as a Knicks fan when you're watching a game, right? And you're right there and you could win this game, but you see a player and you could call out something and say, watch, he let this happen. I do this every game I watch. Something's about to happen. Why are we not going to win this game? We was in that game. And people always talk about me, oh, I want the Knicks to lose. No, I want them to win. But when I see them lose, I'm going to pick out the negative stuff that I see from the same person almost every game. And he needs to stop playing that lineup with Mario Zonia, Kanter, Moutier, and Trey Burke. Stop it. Because that's when team scores on us.
Okay. All right. Nah, listen, I know you want us to win. I know that. I know you want us to win. You're just passionate. And I'm passionate.
So Tim Hardaway is your culprit in Kanter's mind. So let's leave it at that.
All right, Mark. I'll catch you tomorrow night.
All right, yo.
Tomorrow night? You gonna be here tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm here. What you saying, Knicks fan? First you call?
nasty. If you watch the game again, I feel the same way about Kanter as you do. We agree on that. He can't play a lick of defense. He hurts us more than he helps us. But tonight, he tried on defense. He actually had a couple of blocks, a couple of turnovers he created. And he scored when we needed points, man. He was the only one. Him and Trier. Trier might have only had 9 points, but he played good ball. I was at the game.
Kanter worked hard, but when a guard is doing something repeating, I'm just saying, I just want Kanter to show resistance when people come to just foul him, just show resistance, but just don't let them walk the lane. He actually lets them get a free basket.
I feel you. I definitely feel you. Kanter is not the defender that we need in the middle. I agree with you. But let me ask you this. You watched the game. What'd you think about your boy Tim? I think
he goes in and out. Like, that's something you're gonna expect. Like I said, I don't like Tim Hardaway for the money that we paid him, so it makes him look back every game because we're paying you this amount of money. If he was getting paid cheap, I wouldn't even worry about him. But he's getting paid most of the money, so of course, and he's the guy that has to score. So if he's taking dumb shots, I'm gonna be mad at that also. But then again, he's our only firepower at times.
He took every shot, man. Look, watch the game again. He didn't pass the ball, not one. I think later in the game he was trying to pass after he faked another injury.
And Trey Burke, though he was Kyrie getting his haircut, he should know that his spot about to get up.
Hey, Mark, I'm gonna let you go, man. I'll catch you tomorrow night. Today, though. I'll catch you tomorrow night, man, because I'm gonna head up over here. Catch you tomorrow night. Peace.
All right, Mark.
All right. Stay on there, French. Isaiah.
Yo.
Give us the last words, and then we're going to end off with French and roll about.
Listen, man. I'm gonna hit it with a who's Mark. I'm gonna blame who's Mark for your cussing tonight. I'm gonna blame who's Mark is the one that made you cuss. So that don't even count.
I did that on myself, man.
Yo, Sid, you should have saw my face. That's like when I heard my father cuss for the first time. I said, what? I was like, come on. But no, man. But, it was a game. We got our butts kicked. It's all right. Everybody play like doo-doo. We're facing a team that's in the same boat as us, so I think it's going to be a hard competitive game, actually. And it's going to be a lot of it's going to be a hard competitive game. But I think the Knicks can do it. I don't know the status on Timmy yet. I don't know if he's going to play or not, but, let's just play hard. Yeah. I think Frank is going to have a bounce-back game.
He needs
it.
He's going to have a bounce-back game. He's going to actually. Here's the thing. And people were killing him. He's doing what we asked. We wanted him to shoot more shots. He's shooting more shots.
He's still hesitant, though.
Yeah, he's hesitant, but he's shooting more shots, and he will. They will fall. They're gonna fall, man.
I hope so. He shot 42.9% tonight. We need him to get it up.
He has to shoot with confidence.
I think he's gonna shoot better, man. I think he's gonna have a good game starting tomorrow with the shooting, and I think he's gonna do a good job on Zach and whoever their point guard is. Also, too, I hope Fizdale gets us better with switching because we don't need to switch. We don't have the personnel to switch. Yeah. So we got to stop switching a lot because ever since the beginning of the season, we've been switching a lot. But, hey, let's play hard tomorrow. Everybody have a good night. Let's see you tomorrow, everybody.
Peace out, Isaiah, man.
Peace out, friends. Hey, Sim, no more cussing, man. I'm going to get that soap.
I got you. I'm gonna keep it clean. Keep it clean. Kids watching, man. I
know, man. You the future, man. You a black kids superhero. Watching. You're Obama.
All right, man. Peace. French, man. It was good seeing you at the game, bro. It was good seeing you at the game.
Yeah, I wish we had a little time to chop it up, but next time.
Next time we will, for sure.
If I knew that you were I thought you were in a suite, man, or else I would have told my brother to get you guys in there too.
Well, we were supposed to be. Yeah, we were supposed to be in it, but then, with the number of people that we had, we decided it was just going to be best instead of being in the suite to be down where we were. We had, the seats were nice.
Yeah, it was nice. You had good seats. We were right in the middle of the court.
Yeah, right in the middle, man. You can't beat that.
Yeah, it was perfect. Great view. Good game. I mean, I don't think we looked good, but we kept coming back. We didn't just fold. Frank, man, disappointing tonight. Very bad, very hesitant. But
Yeah.
I think Mark's killing Kanter for no reason, at least for tonight. I agree with Mark on. I feel the same way about Kanter. I think he's a liability, but tonight we lose by 50 if it's not for Kanter. You were there. You saw that.
I think Kanter was, tonight, 18 points, 12 rebounds, some key baskets. Now I do agree with him. Defensively, we know what Kanter's going to bring. And like you said, games are about those tight baskets in the clutch, but you got to get to those tight baskets in the clutch too. You know what I'm saying? You got to get there, and you got to have players that get you there. And Kanter helped us get there tonight.
Yeah, he did. He kept us in the game where every time they were going up by 12, he was coming off the bench, getting the rebound, and he created a turnover. He had a block. We got some really, really bad calls against us tonight, too. And that number 4 ref had it out for us tonight. And I feel like that block by Trier, that was a definite block.
That was a mean block, too.
And then Mitchell Robinson, when he boarded Wall, that was a block, too. And then he just called it. But we got to take the bad calls, too. That's part of basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. French, man, I'm going to head off. I'll be back tomorrow night.
Have a good night, Sim. We'll see you tomorrow night. We'll do it again.
Definitely. No doubt.
All right, brother.
All right, peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to call this one a night. I would like to send an apology to any young children that's out there that was listening to me, and send an apology to you. Apologize for cursing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it happens. But I'll do my best for it not to happen again. But anyway, tough game for the Knicks. We lost. This is what happens when you lose. People start to get frustrated and things. But that's why we're here. That's why this is therapy. It's therapy for us Knicks fans. You know what I mean? But I'll be on tomorrow night. Make sure you catch me. And I will talk to you very soon. Have a great start to your week. Peace.